Welcome to part 2 in Why Predictive Analytics. My name is Gunilla Rudander and I will make a demo for you. The demo is going to be about the Watson Analytics on the cloud and then SPSS Modeler. So I start with the Watson Analytics. As it's a cloud solution, I have to go into the web link watsonanalytics.com. Here it is. If it's the first time for you, you can just sign in here in the bottom. I sign in here. So here is Watson Analytics. You can choose between different types of analysis. So first we have the Explore one. I can click there. If I click there, first I have to find out which data to work with. So I will have the upload data, browse, and here it is, the satisfaction survey. If I have a look in the Excel sheet, you can see this file look like this. So satisfaction is my target variable, and then we have a lot of information about every customer, and this is travelers. And I would like to know which customers are not so satisfied on this scale between 1 and 5. If I click on my data file here, I get some proposal. If I don't know what to check out in my file, I get some proposal of what is most important in relationships in this file. Watson has found out that this is interesting. What are the values of price sensitivity by organ's state? And we can also see here in this picture, how do the values of departure delay in minutes compare by type of travel? And if I click here, I will get some information about that. It will work. And I get the graph here. I get some more information and numbers here in the top also. I will go back to the welcome area again. And this time I would rather predict. So I click on the predict. I choose my file. The first thing I have to do is to enter name of my workbook. Satisfaction. The target variable, I can have more than one target, but now I have just the satisfaction. I have a lot to choose between. Great. Then it starts to work again. So now it's working on the web. I don't have any software installed here. Now it's close to 100%. Ready. In the top of this window you can see some interesting findings. The good data quality is very interesting to have a look on. 63%. Of course, if it's more close to 100%, it's better. And I could find that there are 25 issues with my data. And if I want to learn more, I click here. Every variable that is green is good quality. If you have one variable that is red, then it's bad quality. So arrival delay and departure delay is not so good. I close it. I can also find out that 27 of 30 inputs were potentially useful for predicting the satisfaction. It's also good to know which variables are related to each other among my input variables, and I can click here to have a view of that. I can, for example, see that this is not so strange. Age and age group is related to each other. I can also see that arrival delay and departure delay is correlated to each other. This could be good to know. If we look here on one field, we can see the most important variable is this one, the blue. Type of travel is a predictor of satisfaction. And if I click on this graph, where we have this blue circle, I will get directly into that graph. And we can have an extra look on the very light blue one, because that's the people who is not satisfied at all. So personal travel is more dissatisfied compared to mileage tickets and business travel. If you want more details, you can just click details here and get another type of graph of the same thing. I close it. And now I'm going to the combination instead. And I would like to find out which combination is the best predictor of satisfaction. And here I can find a tree diagram. So I click there, and we will have this decision rules. And to just see the dissatisfied, I click on the 1 here. If I have a look here, I can see number 1. The most important one is this. If I click here on the number 1, I have everything marked in my tree. I can also have a text of this. So I go to the top decision rules. I change to 1. So number 1 for deciding which is the most dissatisfied group is people that has personal travel, arrival delay greater than 5 minutes. They are blue, gold or platinum customer. Here's the age ranges and flight distance. So it's a long rule. I close this. So this is an example of how Watson Analytics is working. So just a summary about Watson Analytics. You're working directly on the web, on the cloud, and here's some examples from what you saw. You get the information about what is the most important to explain satisfaction. And here is an example of a tree. So now I'm going to make a demo of SPSS Modeler. SPSS Modeler is a desktop version. Here it is. And I will fill this white spot here with a stream, and I will follow the CRISP DM. It's about business understanding data preparation, modeling, evaluation and deployment. First of all, I go to the source here. As you see, there are a lot of different types of sources that you can read, like databases or text files, or in this example, an Excel file. So I put it here, double click on it. I click here to choose the one I want to open. And here's the satisfaction file, and I click OK. If I want to have a preview of if this file is the right one, I just double click and click on the preview. Now I will get information about the first 10 people in my data file. I can see that every variable is there, and here's the satisfaction that I'm very interested of. Some of the variables is not so interesting to have. I can from the beginning take them away here. So for example, I'm not so interested to have a look on the airline code and airline name. Click OK. Next step is to decide the target variable. So I go to the field operations and I drag and drop the type node. So every node is a command. I double click the type node and decide my target variable that is in the beginning. I click here and change to the target icon and read in the values. You can see that some of them are continuous numerical variables and other are categorical variables, but my target variable is continuous. Click OK, and in the modeling part I can choose a lot. For the moment I will jump over the data preparation step, but you can find it here in the record or field operations. I go directly to the modeling part, and here you can see a lot of different types of models. If you don't know which model to work with, you can get help from the program. You can use the auto classifier or autonumeric, one of the two first here. And if you have a categorical target variable like groups, then you take this one. And if you have a numerical variable in the target, as I have for the moment, the satisfaction, then you take this one. Now I want to use this model, classification and regression tree. So drag a line there and double click and then click on run. So now it's finding out the most important variables or combination of variables that can predict satisfaction. So I double click the diamond to get some information, and I can see that the most important variable is type of travel and then airline status and so on. I go directly to the viewer. Here's a tree with all the information, and you have mean values everywhere in these different boxes. Among all these 7,000 people, I can find out that type of travel is the most important. I can see that personal travel is more dissatisfied compared to the business travel mileage tickets. If I go further on the personal travel, I can see that there are differences between airline status. So people who has blue, gold, platinum is a little bit more dissatisfied compared to the silver. And the most dissatisfied people here is this group. We can see that this group is arrival delay greater than 5 minutes, and blue, gold, platinum, and personal travel. So it's a lot of information. If you want to have it in graph form, you just click here. I close it down and then I copy this information. I copy the node and I paste it in. Paste. And drag it here. I would like to combine this information to a new file. So I go to the sources again. I take this Excel format again and I double click here. And I choose the file that is called New Customer Satisfaction Survey. And then OK. So I would like to have a list with the information and prediction of the satisfaction. So the model will go through this new customer file and find out the predicted satisfaction score for every one of my new customers. The output will be a list. You can also have an output that is going directly back to your database or an Excel file. Then in such case, you click on the export. But now I just want to have a list, so I click on Run. And in the end of this file, you will find the prediction, the scores, now how satisfied every new customer is. In this case, I should have an extra eye on these people who has a very low score and maybe act on that. If you want to do some data preparation, you can do that. Just an example of what you can do is the sort. I take a sort node here, put it between, and I sort after our satisfaction, and I take the ascending order and OK. If I go back to the table or the list again, I will see it sorted up now. So the most dissatisfied people are here in the top. A summary of this. First, I read one or more data sources. Start with that. Then I decide the target and input variables. Then sometimes you have some data preparation to do. I didn't do it here. Then you will have the model that find out the most important combination of variables that could predict the satisfaction. The results is in a form of a diamond where you could see, for example, decision tree. This information from this diamond you can copy and you can save it into the future. And I did that, copied it, and I read in some new data, a new customer file, and then I copy in this diamond and run it and got it into a table or a list. And this list is something that I can use for predicting the future, predict the satisfaction among my customer. This target variable was satisfaction. Satisfaction was a numerical variable. What about if you have a target variable that is grouped instead, like churn, not churn? So here is an example when the target is grouped. So I have two groups, cancelled or still customer. What is the most important to explain why customer is cancelled their contract? Here is the results. And it's a very big tree, so I have to go into it a little bit in detail here. If we have a look on node 3 here, we can see that it's the age between 41 and 53, and node 2 is 26 to 40 years old. So we can see here is a big difference. And the reason why the tree looks like this is because of the statistics that is behind everything. In this example is chi-square with Bonferroni adjustment. We can see that among people who is between 41 and 53 years old, 63% is cancelling the contract. And the people between 26 and 40 years old, only 37% is cancelling the contract. Many times you maybe stop here and think, okay, this age group is not so important. But very important is to go further. So just go further in this group. Then we can see the airline status is important. So people that is 26 to 40 years old have gold membership. Among them, 93% is cancelling the contracts. If you go further among these people, we can see that gender is statistically very important to explain the cancellation. 99% among the male with gold membership between 26 and 40 years old are cancelling the contract. That's almost everyone. This is a group to focus on. So why predictive analytics? Find hidden relations like this, and it's found by data mining, and predict the future when you have found out everything about your data. so you can save time and make success. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this webinar.